Winston Jerome overcame challenges on the track and off to write one of the great stories in Canadian sport history. Born in Prince Albert, Jerome and his family settled in North Vancouver when he was 12. The Jeromes were not welcomed warmly in their community.
His entry into North Vancouver with Valerie and his family was not a pleasant one in terms of the racial prejudice that existed at that time. And of course, this had an impact on his life at that time and probably continued to have it right up until the time of his death, when he was 42 years of age.
Jerome excelled athletically in multiple sports. In grade 12, showed his prodigious talent, breaking the national 220-yard sprint record set by Percy Williams, who won 2 gold medals at the 1928 Olympics. A year later, still only 19, Jerome matched the 100-meter world record in a time of 10 seconds flat at the Olympic trials in Saskatchewan.
His talent, his skill, his gift from God, if you will, was evident very, very early. He was not your average person. He was a tremendous athlete in any sport that he ever decided. And he was a very superior person in every regard.
Jerome went to the 1960 Rome Olympics as a medal favorite. His games ended in disappointment as he pulled a hamstring in the 100-meter semifinal.
Yes, at the time it was disappointing, but that was really only my 3rd year involved in the sport, so I didn't have that many years, and it wasn't sort of like I was just at the end of my career. It was years to look forward to.
The disappointment on the track was one thing, but Jerome was called a quitter in media after he pulled up. It was the media's attacks on his character that particularly stung the young sprinter. Jerome recovered from his injury quickly and continued to excel. He set the world record in the 100 yards and was part of the University of Oregon's 440-yard relay team that broke the world record in 1962. All told, Jerome would own 7 world records over his career. Expectations were high heading into the British Empire and Commonwealth Games in 1962. Once again, an injury prevented him from finishing a race. Sports medicine was a far cry from where it is today, and Jerome's injury was initially a mystery. The media pounced again after he limped off the track.
He could hardly walk. He got to the plane to come home, sort of unbeknownst to the media and to the team officials, and again was labeled a quitter, when in reality, he had torn his quadriceps muscle just above the knee.
Doctors felt he may not walk again, let alone compete as a sprinter. It was an injury that no one had ever recovered from to compete again at the time.
He basically, tears his quad in 2, which is like usually that's a career ender, especially at that time. Today it would be like it would probably be the end of a career. That time it was almost a guarantee, and he gets called out for it. He gets treated certainly differently as a black athlete than if that had happened to a white athlete. And if you look at the press and the media on it, it's pretty terrible.
Jerome showed that his character and determination more than matched his talent. He silenced his critics with one of the greatest comebacks the sports world had ever seen, winning a bronze medal in the 100 meters at the Tokyo Olympics in 1964.
It's just remarkable. I mean, doctors were saying, you're going to be lucky to walk again. You're never going to be a sprinter again. And yet he goes on to do that. Like, that to me is, when you combine that with overcoming all the racism that he encountered, that's what sets him apart, really.
Jerome won the 100-meter gold medal at the Commonwealth Games in 1966 and won gold again at the Pan Am Games in Winnipeg in 1967. He would compete at a 3rd Olympics in 1968 in Mexico City. After retiring, he received countless accolades. He was inducted into Canada's Sports Hall of Fame and was made an officer of the Order of Canada. A statue of Jerome stands prominently in Vancouver's Stanley Park. His legacy is celebrated each year with the Harry Jerome Awards, which recognize excellence in Canada's Black community. Jerome passed away in 1982.
I think after he retired, and certainly after he passed, at a young age, I think people really started to appreciate what he'd accomplished. I think people were realizing how special he was. He was kind of like a generational athlete, and the fact that he overcame all the injuries and the discrimination, it makes him even more significant than a once in a generation athlete. And I think that's why he's so revered today. Is there are so many parts of his story that are really admirable in what he had to overcome and what he accomplished.
Installed in the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame on September 24th, 2022, Harry Winston Jerome.